Hi guys, welcome to Heartlight Tarot and Astrology. My name is Holly Marie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I work with energies of the tarot along with what's going on astrologically to give you guys a predictive forecast. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that I post. Today I'm going to be talking about the month of June for the sign of Aries. This is going to be a collective reading. It's not going to be a personal one-to-one reading, so take it how it resonates. It's going to include tarot. I know before I asked if you guys liked them separate, astrology and then tarot, but to be honest, it's easier for me to combine the two. So if you are interested in your horoscope, stay tuned in the beginning because I'm going to be going over a lot of transits for you guys in terms of what houses they're in and how all this energy is affecting you. And then towards the end, if you only want your tarot, you can fast forward to that as well. So welcome. If you're a returning viewer, I just wanted to let you know the website's going to be coming up here. The goal is to have it out on June 4th around the new moon in Gemini. I'm a Gemini rising, so of course I feel like I need to combine it with my energy of what might work best for myself and what might be the most successful. So I do work full time, so if it's out a little bit later, I will let you guys know. It's going to be included in the June tarot reading, so it's going to be only with tarot. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, I let you guys know in the last videos that I put out. And the last May videos that I put out, it was the last part of May. So if you want to go check that out, that would be great. But what I ended up telling you guys was that I'm working on my website, and as a way of saying thank you, there's going to be a lot of discounts and goodies. There's going to be buy one, get one free readings, and it's only going to be lasting for a little while. So once that website is up, there's going to be a limited amount of how many buy one, get one free readings I'm going to be offering you guys. Also, there is a class that I'm going to be teaching in September. It is a class that I wanted to share with you guys as, you know, as a way of letting you know how I navigate my own life and my own unique, intense, you know, struggles in life, or just any day-to-day really things that need me to be in touch with my intuition. Reading tarot for the last 5 or 6 years or so has really helped me to get in touch with my intuition and my own energy, and that's what I want to try to teach you guys in order to navigate your own lives and like potential situations where you need answers quickly. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in the energy part of tarot and, you know, this divination that I'm offering for you guys, considering subscribing and hitting the notification bell, because the first 5 people that are going to be signing up for the class are going to be getting in for free. And then there's going to be a really big discount for the following people that are included. There's going to be, right now, as of now, it's going to be a 6-week course. There's going to be Q&A, so you guys are going to be able to talk to me and ask me questions. But that's all I have for you right now, considering it's in September and we still have some time. But if that's something that you're interested in, consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell so you can possibly get the tuition for free. And like I was telling you guys before, it's like a way of me saying thank you to you for being so supportive, because now I'm officially at 1,000 subscribers. And it's just me saying thank you so much. All right, so let's get into it. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So, I mean, how are you guys feeling? You guys have had so much energy in your first house for so long. Just, you know, with that solar eclipse, you had to let some things go in the Libra part of your chart in regards to you know, balancing out the playing field in order to be successful for your own endeavors, right? Because this North Node ruled by Aries, your sign, has been calling you to move forward in a linear path instead of really being pulled down by certain relationships and struggles. So now that we're here, we're going to be having a lot of Gemini energy. So there's going to be a lot of energy in your 3rd house. You know, Gemini moved. So Jupiter was in your 2nd house for the longest time of finances and other people's money, not other people's money, but in your relationship in regards to other people's money, considering it opposes your 8th house. It also, you know, Jupiter was there and is the planet of expansion and blessings. He brings gifts. He's the Santa Claus of the zodiac. he makes life more optimistic. So maybe your finances really have improved, but now Jupiter is in your third house and you want to communicate with siblings, neighbors. Gemini is already ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication and, messages. So you might be finding yourself sending a lot of messages to family, to friends that are like linked to your family. You might be noticing that you are starting some kind of educational pursuit. You might be writing. You might be thinking about writing a book. Let me know in the comment box below how that resonates with you. But Jupiter is going to be in your third house, really expanding that in a way where it's going to bring a lot of blessings to you in regards to short distance travel, neighbors, and sibling relationships and stuff like that. And it's going to be immediately trining Pluto and Aquarius in your 11th. So on the 2nd, it's a pretty sweet day because you're going to be feeling this uplift of energy in regards to communication, right? Because like I was saying, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and it's in your third house of communication already. So you might be noticing that since it's trining Pluto and Aquarius in your 11th, Pluto moved into Aquarius just recently, not too long ago, and it's transforming the way that you are in your friendship circles. It's transforming your hopes and dreams, and it's completely getting down to the bottom of what it is that you truly want in regards to your hopes and dreams. It's also changing the way that you see social media and how it works for you. And you might be noticing you might be wanting to be offering more of a humanitarian pursuit in regards to social media. So you might be noticing that you want to be more available to people on social media. That could be possible as well. And you might be wanting to, write books and communicate with people on social media on how you're writing this book that's going to help them in regards to, some kind of self-healing. That could be possible as well. On June 3rd, Mercury moves into Gemini. So like I was saying, Mercury is at its home in your third house because it's ruled by Gemini. You're just going to be feeling very sharp in regards to your communication with people, especially with anything in regards to beginning of education and writing and reading and communicating with, in regards to short distance travel and siblings and neighbors and such, okay? And it's immediately going to be trining Pluto and Aquarius as well. So the second you're going to have that Jupiter trine to Pluto in the 11th house, and then you're also going to have Mercury coming into its home in your third house. So you're really going to be feeling strong and communicative. The beginning of June is a really good time for you guys to hang out with the people outside of work and really work on your reputation here, because the 11th house is being highlighted as well. It's trining the energy in your third house. So that means the house of, communication is trining the house of your reputation. So you might be noticing that you're really going to want to be talking to people and really working on your relationships with, social media groups and the way that you are getting your message out into the world and the way that you're talking to the people that are the most important to you. Maybe you might be noticing that the way that you're thinking is changing and really deepening in regards to humanity as a whole. Okay, so we also have the sun moving into Gemini. Or no, the sun's already in Gemini in your third house. It's conjunct Venus and Gemini in your third. So the sun and the Venus come together. I believe this is going to be like the beginning energy of that, Cazimi that we have coming on the 4th. They're just talking to each other. They're communicating with each other. The sun is about career. So you might be noticing that you want to, and Venus could be about women. So you could be thinking about empowering women in regards to like books. That could be for some of you really writing in regards to their health, wanting to like advocate for women. That could be for some of you as well. Venus rules relationships, and the fact that they're conjuncting each other and they're using each other's energy, the sun and Venus and the planet or in the house of communication. And you might be noticing that you know, the sun is really highlighting your, you know, relationship with siblings and neighbors, and what it is that you want to do for a living. You might be really feeling the need to communicate what's really important to you in regards to education as well. The 6th, it's the new moon in Gemini at 16 degrees, which is a Cancer degree. I've noticed with 16 degrees, it's a really fair balance between ego and wisdom. So you might be feeling like you know it all right now. You might be feeling like you're very strong in your beliefs and communicating them. But since this new moon is going to be, you know, in the house of communication, and you might want to, you know, share it with a brother or sister. You might be wanting to share with a neighbor. Obviously a new moon is the beginning of, you know, planting seeds, because you want to see something culminate for you within the next 6 months and really grow into something special, right? Because when we do those culminations, when we do those, when we put it out into the universe on a new moon cycle, on the things that we want, you know, we kind of want to shout it out to the world in some cases, and in this case you might want to, but I feel like with this new moon, you know, at a Cancer degree, you might want to keep it local, keep it within, you know, a small circle, because now's not the time to share it, and you might be feeling really connected to home and family life, especially because, you know, Venus is on the move. It's going to be moving to your 4th house of home and family as well here pretty soon, and I'll get to that in a second. Let's see. We also have, you know, Venus and Gemini. This is when, you know, the energy kind of starts getting a little bit difficult. The 8th, 9th, and the 11th. And also, really, the 11th is a tough one. And also, the 20th is kind of like a rough day as well. So we're on the 8th, Venus and Gemini. And the 3rd, squaring Saturn and Pisces in the 12th. You might really want to be called to, you know, get really close in your relationships here with Venus and talk about, you know, talk about maybe some issues that you've been having with some family members, or you really want to talk about, you know, what it is that you want to do in regards to that book I was talking about, or writing, or communication, in regards to how it helps in the relationships in your life. But the fact that it's squaring Saturn and Pisces in your 12th, and Saturn has been in the house of your 12th house, is, you know, the reality that it's hard for us to grasp. We don't really notice it all the time. It's our subconscious. It could rule hospitals. It could rule, you know, our psychological tendencies, our self-undoing, you know, self-sabotaging patterns. And, you know, Pisces rules that. Pisces is already like the last sign of the zodiac, so it always thinks about what it's going to be doing. So you might be focusing on some kind of anxious thoughts, you know, with Saturn being in there recently. But the fact that Venus is squaring that, I feel like that might be something that you really want to talk about. You might want to be talking about, you know, with your loved ones, something that's going on subconsciously with you that's really holding you back. Or maybe you really want to travel, or you really want to work on that book, but you might be finding yourself having to take care of somebody that's in the hospital, or maybe you have to go to the hospital and things kind of slow down in that aspect. Or so Mars is entering Taurus that same day. It's moving from your 1st house, where it's very comfortable because it's ruled by Aries, or Mars is at its comfortable spot in Aries. It's moving into your 2nd house. Your 2nd house is your finances, your the way that you make your money, the way that you see yourself in regards to your self-worth with money. Mars doesn't necessarily like to be in your 2nd house, just because your 2nd house really wants kind of, it's a receptive energy on your 2nd house. You kind of want things to kind of grow. You want to watch your money grow slowly. You might be noticing that about yourself. But Mars really wants to get in there and make money. It wants to make things happen, but Taurus is telling you that, you know, we've been working on something for so long. Let's not hurry up and get it done, okay? Let's see how it works out. June 9th, the Sun in Gemini is squaring Saturn in Pisces. With the Sun being in your 3rd house, we were talking about that earlier, and it's squaring Saturn. You know, it's going to have the same energy that I was just talking about, like with Venus, but the Sun is in regards to your career, fatherly figure. So you might be noticing that somebody might be in the hospital in regards to your fatherly figure, maybe somebody that you know, maybe a close family friend. The 11th of June is when Mars in Taurus is squaring Pluto and Aquarius in your 11th house. That's a very uncomfortable day because Mars really wants to get going and Taurus wants to slow down and be receptive and really work on relationships. And Mars wants what it wants when it wants it. And it's squaring Pluto and Aquarius in your 11th house. And Pluto is really transforming your reputation in regards to that social network that I was talking about and your hopes and dreams. The fact that it's squaring it, it could be causing some kind of old fears to come up in regards to some kind of self-esteem, because Pluto really gets to the bottom of things and helps you to handle things in a way where it takes you to the core of the problem, and it might have you wanting to hurry up and get something done in regards to making money maybe on social media, and it could cause some kind of explosive energy. So be careful on that day for friction. Lay low. I wouldn't make any plans on that day. I would try to stay home if possible, because Pluto, the planet of death and transformation, and Mars is the planet that rules war and fighting and heat and cutting. And when you put those together in a square, in a tension square, there could be a lot of explosive energy happening around you. So I would just stay home if you could. June 14th, Mercury Cazimi in Gemini in the 3rd. So I was talking about that. It's like when Gemini is reborn, and Gemini is, or the sun is being reborn, or the sun and Mercury are coming together. And there's like some kind of rebirth is what I'm trying to say. And it's happening in your 3rd house of communication, right? So I really do feel like the way that you communicate is really being transformed here. And the way that you perceive things and, bring messages in subconsciously and consciously, and the way that you communicate and get those words out and explaining to other people. It's almost giving me a vibe of like you're thinking about what kind of reputation you want to have right now and how you want to be reborn in regards to how you communicate. The 16th, we have Venus in Gemini in the 3rd, squaring Neptune in Pisces in the 12th. So, like I was saying, Venus likes to talk about, relationships, and wants to listen to podcasts, and wants to read a book on how it can improve their relationships. It takes it seriously. It may be coming at relationships in a very logical standpoint, which is a very good thing. But, a lot of people might find that weird. But I feel like it takes it seriously, and that's a really good thing. It's squaring Neptune and Pisces in the 12th. I feel like like I was saying about earlier, how, Venus in Gemini is squaring Saturn in Pisces. I feel like on the 16th, there might be some kind of confusion in regards to that 12th house energy of, behind the scenes, self-undoing, hospitals, our unconscious, the way that we handle our psychological tendencies. So things might be feeling really confusing in regards to some kind of your relationships on that day. Okay, because Neptune it's a very confusing energy. And also it's at home in Pisces. So it's very dreamy. You might be finding yourself kind of tired, and you really want to talk about your relationships on that day. You really want to communicate with them, but you just can't. You might be feeling like you just want to rest instead, because there might be something subconsciously that you might be having to handle, or maybe you need to figure out something in regards to your health that might be kind of confusing. Venus enters Cancer on that day, so you might be feeling very sentimental too. You might be feeling like you want to be at home. You want to stay at home like in your shell and just kind of relax. And you really might be thinking about, the relationships in your home at that time. On the 17th, Mercury in Gemini in the 3rd is squaring Neptune and Pisces in the 12th. Like I was saying, it's comfortable being in your 3rd house, but it's squaring Neptune and Pisces in your 12th. So communication could be hard to get across that day on the 17th. You might be feeling like people are not understanding you in the way that you would like them to, in regards to maybe some kind of hospitals or subconscious thoughts and patterns, or you might be wanting to talk about what's going on mentally with you, or subconsciously, but it's not coming out the way that you want it to. People are not perceiving it the way that you would like them to. A Mercury conjunct Venus in Cancer in the 4th. So Mercury is going to be moving into Cancer. It's going to be conjuncting Venus. You really want to be talking about your relationships. You want to talk about your relationships in regards to your roots and like where it is that you came from. Maybe you're talking about, you know, retiring, and you really want to nurture the fact that you're ready to talk about your retirement, because the 4th house is your retirement, right? So, okay, so on the 20th, the sun in Gemini, and your 3rd is, it's squaring Neptune in Pisces in the 12th. So, like I was saying before, maybe something in regards to fatherly figures, you know, writing a book, you know, neighbor relationships, sibling relationships, are really becoming kind of confusing to you maybe that day. There could be some kind of confusion in regards to what it is that you really want in regards to educational pursuits, because the 3rd house can be early education as well. The sun enters, you know, Cancer in the 4th house. So it, you know, it joins Mercury and it joins Venus in your 4th house. So you might be wanting to, instead of being at work, you might want to be at home. That could be for some of you as well. Or maybe you really want to work from home. That could be for some of you as well. June 21st, we have the full moon in Capricorn. So since we have Pluto dipping back into Saturn, into Capricorn towards the end of the year, or here pretty soon actually, there's going to be a full moon in your 10th house at the 1st degree of Aries. You are Aries rising, so you might be finding yourself coming into a completion in regards to your status at work, your status with bosses, your status with, you know, coworkers, your status out in the world. You might be finding yourself really being seen the way that you want to be. You might be finding yourself really focusing on what kind of leader you want to be, what kind of person you want to be, that you planted 6 months ago. On June 29th, Saturn retrograde Pisces at 19 degrees. It's a Libra degree. It's in your 12th house. It's really going to be, so the whole month is filled with, you know, you kind of dipping into, you know, that Neptune and Pisces energy in regards to, in the Mercury and Venus. That's, you know, really it's connecting with that 3rd house, right? But towards the end of the month, this is going to be a time where you're going to really take the time in regards to your health. You're going to stop and you're going to look at what it is that's, you know, holding you back mentally or holding you back physically, or take care of that person that you've been needing to take care of in, you know, a hospital standpoint, or maybe taking care of your own health physically and mentally. Okay, Pisces rules the collective, so you might be thinking that, you know, if you do this, if this is something that you stop and do, that other people might learn from you. Okay, so I was saying with Libra, it's being Libra degree, you're thinking about, you know, how it's going to affect you, and how it's going to affect other people. Okay, so I'm going to get your guys' cards now. You guys got Knight of Swords, the World, and the Fool, taking some kind of leap of faith. The Knight of Swords, some kind of quick communication, which doesn't surprise me, right? It doesn't surprise me with, you know, Mercury being in the house of communication. So you might be finding yourself wanting to get started on something and talk about it. Or logically communicate it, or write it, or read it. Some kind of communication. Maybe somebody's going to be telling you something very quickly, and it might be coming out of nowhere, and it might change everything for you with the World card here. It might take you, it might like push you through some kind of portal, some kind of reality check, some kind of change that's really going to be bringing you to a different perspective. And that really does combine with me with Mercury being in that 3rd house and the sun being in that 3rd house, and in the fact that you know, are changing because it's shrining the 11th house, right? You're changing, your hopes and dreams are changing. The way that you communicate them is changing in regards to other people, okay? And your status out in the world, and your, you know, the way that the world views you in social media. And without full moon and Capricorn coming into like a complete completion for you guys, it's going to change the way that, you know, people see you. And that's something that you are very much in tune to. That's something that you want very much. And with the Full card here, it's going to open up a lot of possibilities, because your reputation is going to be enhancing and changing in a lot of ways. This energy is clarified with the King of Pentacles. It's going to be bringing you a lot of stability. It's going to be bringing you leadership, stability. It's going to bring you like some kind of foundation that's unbreakable. It's going to, you know, open a lot of doors for you in regards to the way that people trust you, okay? You guys got rise above it. It's not yours to carry. You're an empath. How do you detach from the drama? So this reminds me that, you know, you're going to be finding yourself in a lot of social settings right now with, you know, the Pluto and Aquarius just like really getting to the bottom of your reputation in your friendship circles. It might be bringing a lot of drama to you. So what this is saying to you is it's okay to feel for people. It's okay to bring them in and create relationships with people and try to help people and be there for them. But there's a thin line between, you know, being there for somebody and then, you know, being part of their drama and letting them kind of draw you in. And I feel like that's something that's going to be brought to your attention here. So something that you're going to be working on. Okay. You guys also got Lovers. There are two paths ahead. Be true to yourself. This kind of reminds me of that energy of, you know, your hopes and dreams and your communication with family. So that kind of reminds me of, you know, I feel like there's already a lot of possibilities coming up for you right now in regards to the social media scene and the way that the world views you. And also with this new path that you might be thinking about taking in regards to that third house energy. Okay, this is saying that be true to yourself and what it is that you're feeling. I feel like you already are going to be doing that towards the end of the month with Saturn in your 12th house of the, you know, subconscious patterns and what you're thinking about and what it is that you really truly want to bring out into the world. I feel like it's going to be reborn here pretty soon, and you're going to have two different choices to make, and I feel like you're going to know which one is going to be the right one. I feel like stay away from the drama. Don't forget to communicate, which obviously is going to be really easy for you, but around that new moon, I feel like whatever seeds you're going to be bringing and intending this month with the new moon, I feel like keep it to yourself is the best thing to do until you're really sure of it, and kind of think about how it's going to affect your home and family life with Venus moving into your 4th house, and how it might affect your relationships. But overall, this is a very positive reading. I wish you all the best, Aries. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.